We do have a big new development in the U.S.-China trade war. President Trump has said that he will delay the increase of tariffs on $250 billion worth of Chinese goods from going into effect October 1 to October 15. The president tweeted, "At the request of the Vice Premier of China, Liu He, and due to the fact that the People's Republic of China will be celebrating their 70th anniversary on October 1st, we have agreed as a gesture of goodwill to move the increased tariffs on $250 billion worth of goods, 25% up to 30% from October 1st to October 15th. A big development, potentially. And Yahoo Finance's Rick Newman is here with more. Hey, Rick.
The usual excellent recitation
Thank
of the
you so
Trump
much.
tweet
Important.
that you're so good at.
Important. Well, what do you make of this? I mean, should people be rejoicing? Because I'm actually surprised we don't see markets up more right now, considering that usually when we get any kind of remotely positive development in all this, we're off to the races.
My guess is that markets yesterday were up partly because of the belief that there's some kind of improvement in this negotiation. I actually think the bigger news today is Trump tweeted that China is going to start buying these agricultural products it has essentially been boycotting. He didn't say what products those are, but two things to look at are soybeans and pork. I think if that actually materializes, that would probably be more important. But look, in the broader picture, I don't think any of this indicates that we're necessarily any closer to a deal or any kind of breakthrough than we have been. I mean, the best thing you can say is that at least the two sides are communicating because they really have not been for about the past month.
Right. This is obviously a really good sign because we've got the trade talks that are going to happen next month. We see Trump actually, willing to mark that 70th anniversary of the founding of the People's Republic of China. And also China actually waived certain tariffs on more than a dozen American goods, but not the ones that they really care about, not soybeans, but like shrimp, fish meal, cancer products.
I'm not seeing a lot of this as being all that meaningful because I think the fundamental problem exists. Nothing has changed about the fundamental problem, which is that the United States is asking China to do things it's just not going to do. So it's possible that China, the sort of conventional wisdom here is that you must, if somebody puts tariffs on your exports, then you must do exactly the same to their imports into your country. I'm not sure that that's necessarily what you have to do. I mean, if you think about it, the way tariffs work is you first punish yourself by raising the cost of imports, and only as a second-order effect do you then, in theory, hurt the guy you're trying to hurt here. China could very well be saying, maybe we're just not going to do tariffs. Maybe we're going to take a different approach. And you know what? Right now, they have African swine fever among the pig population, the swine population in China.
Yeah, that's a big
so they have soaring prices for pork in China, and they might just be saying, what the heck? I mean, let's just buy American pork. I mean, we need pork. Let's just buy it. There are other things China can do, by the way, to retaliate that aren't tariffs.
I think we should point out that the fact that the market is not really reacting to this, I think, is a good sign because the market had been in this bizarre pattern where it would have these really binary reactions to Trump tweets. I mean, look at all the Trump tweets that were negative on trade that we got throughout August. I mean, think now how silly that reaction was. And I think the market needs to sit on the sidelines and wait this out and not try to read the tea leaves from Trump tweets because they really don't mean much.
Except that they are reading the tea leaves, and they created this whole index.
Not today.
Not today, but they created this whole index looking at every single one of Trump's tweets. So the likelihood that the markets will actually stop paying attention is very.
Scott, if you're right, I would agree with you that markets should stop responding to. I mean, these, Trump has turned out not to be right when he has said, "Oh, we're making progress." I mean, he has said this many times. Had a great phone call with President Xi, or looking forward to a great deal. I mean, that has actually not been true. And if you, the whole pattern of this trade war, which has now been going on for about a year and a half, has been on again, off again. Trump escalates, then he backs off. Escalates, then backs off. And markets you're right, markets have really taken the bait every time Trump has wanted markets to take the bait. And markets have been wrong about that. The general pattern has been escalation, escalation, escalation. So it might be one step forward, but two steps back. And that's where we are right now. And nothing has really changed that.
Well, interesting take.